I liked the absolutely great exercises. That was at exercises you could do standing or sitting, so not laying yourself down on the floor and trying to do some crunches. Those things you could do easily standing or sitting. And then, of course, you know, I had to have a pulmonary rehab blog and all about pulmonary rehab. Had to include that, so that's stuff all under fit. So like I say, you don't have to be on social media. When I first started telling some of my rehab patients about that, they're like, I don't do Facebook. And I'm like, you don't have to do Facebook. You can, but do you do the computer? Do you do internet? And they're like, yeah, I do the internet. And I'm like, okay, Jen. And that same lady told me that she didn't do Facebook and says that she reads every week. And so I was glad to hear that even though she didn't do Facebook, which is fine by me, that you don't have, that you can still read the article. Instagram is not hugely popular in our age demographic, to be diplomatic, but we are there too. And then also I've created Pinterest account there. And Pinterest, if you've never done Pinterest, it's kind of like, it's not social media, it's kind of a place where you can access all kinds of information, particularly bloggers post articles there. But people who write recipes and things like that is also there. A lot of how-tos and things like that. But what I did on Pinterest with our Breathe Live Fit account there was you can create tabs, and just like I did on my blog, I can bring in other articles from other people that I think that might be helpful for our demographic, people with lung conditions. And you can read articles that aren't just written by me, that might be helpful for your lung condition, written by other bloggers and other people in the know. And so I created that account as just another access for resource information. I just think that education is power and empowering. And so those three places you can get in touch with me on. So the first blog I wanted to kind of talk about today when it comes to breathing tips is how to be less breathless bathing. People tell me that they're breathless bathing all the time. It's one of like our top 5 answers when they first come to see me at pulmonary rehab. And I think some folks are kind of embarrassed to say it, but it is just a fact of life. You're in a warm, humid environment, sometimes having to stand for a very long time. It can wear you out, you know, and then after you get worn out bathing, then you got to get out of the tub and dry yourself off actively, all the while being short of breath. It's just, when it comes to people with lung conditions, it's not a fun thing. This one has gotten a lot of reads and hopefully has helped a few people when it comes to breathing easier while bathing. And so my first recommendation when you are bathing is bathe at a time of day that you have the most energy. I am a girl on a schedule, and I think I have to be with 3 kids and running a household and several different things I'm working on. However, the time of day that I have the most energy isn't the time I jump out of bed. And I think that we all kind of get programmed, well, it's first thing in the morning, and this is when I always take my bath. I've always taken a bath or showered at this time of day. And that may not be your golden hour to take a bath, because if you don't have enough energy in your tank, then you're not going to be able to manage a normal level of breathlessness. I think I say that a lot in these blogs. If you don't have energy, you won't be able to manage your breathlessness. So all the breathlessness that you're experiencing is going to seem that much more severe. So the first idea when it comes to bathing is kind of put it at a time of day where you feel like you've had your cup of coffee or whatnot, you've taken your vitamins, you've gotten your breathing medications on board, and you're feeling pretty good, and now maybe it's time to take a bath or shower, whatever is your thing. The second tip was prepare. It's an activity. You are going to exert yourself. And so because you are exerting yourself, this is a great time to use your rescue inhaler or your short-acting bronchodilator. As a side note, I don't really love the term rescue inhaler. I think I make that pretty evident on all the new starts that I have in pulmonary rehab. When I went to school, it was always the short-acting bronchodilator. But when I came to rehab and started seeing patients, they're like, this is my rescue inhaler. And guess when they would use it? To rescue them. And so I'm like, well, isn't that sucker kind of hard to breathe on when you're already short of breath? And well, yeah, you know, and so I'm not saying don't use it when you get out of breath because, I mean, I want to keep my license. But I think the better time or the better thing to coin it is your prepared inhaler. And so if you know you're going to be short of breath or you're going to do something that causes shortness of breath, the best time to use your short-acting bronchodilator would be before the activity. And then you may feel like the activity might be a little bit easier, or if you get short of breath, you might be able to recover a little bit faster when it comes to your breathlessness and recovery time. So definitely use it before if the bath is something that causes you to be breathless in. I know with our IPF population, you don't have the luxury of using your fancy inhaler or breathing med before bath time because they don't respond well or sometimes at all to inhalers. So this one goes out to all of you. I feel like I'm sitting DJ. This goes out to all of you that use rescue inhalers. That would be something that you would want to do ahead of time for sure. All right. So the next thing is vent the bathroom or run a fan to kind of let some of that humidity dissipate, kind of get the humidity level down. And running the fan should help with that as well. I've had some patients say they open the window in their bathroom. That's fine if allergens, environmental allergens aren't a trigger for you. But if opening your window is going to bring in pollen and environmental things that are triggered, that's not what I want you to do. Just prop the door open just a little bit or run a fan. Get a shower seat. This was a nice fancy picture that I found online because I hadn't been in the market for shower seats, and so I didn't know what they had out there. But I loved how this one had a little stool that you sat down and spun your legs around. But the other thing, I've made the recommendation before in the shower is one of those plastic deck chairs that you can get from Walmart. They're typically like low profile. They have arm handles, what am I saying? Armrests, and slits in the seat, and they're very lightweight. So some folks are not ready for the shower seat. Sometimes that can be kind of a thing they're not ready to go for yet, and for whatever reason, I'm okay with that. And so the little plastic deck chair that you can get from Walmart, and that's lightweight. It can go in and out of the shower or bathtub or shower fairly easy. It can be stowed away. And so I've made that recommendation, and people kind of like that. And I like the fact that it does have the armrests on both sides to kind of help push up out of it when you sat down. Number 5, if you have oxygen prescribed to you with exertion, you should wear it in the shower. And that is just, people just don't feel like they didn't know they can. I think they worry about the moisture getting back to their concentrator. And so, yes, you definitely want to wear your oxygen if it is prescribed with exertion in the shower. You can either flip it up over top of the shower rod, run it through the curtain. I'm not going to lie, it takes a little getting used to, just like with everything with these conditions and coming up with that new normal of bathing while wearing oxygen. But if you haven't tried it, try it the next time, especially if you wear oxygen. Try it, do it, and then you can email me through the blog, or you can get my business card put on those at the table in the back. Let me know if it worked for you. I would love to get that feedback from you all. And then any other tips that have helped you in the past that I can share. I would say 60% of the information that I share with people through Free Live Fit is information and tips I've gotten from patients. I mean, by far. So this isn't stuff they teach you in school. This is this is cool stuff and helpful information I've heard and learned from other patients as well. Drying off and using a terry cloth robe or a large bath sheet. I have to, and if you've read this blog through a brief listen, I have to share this story again. I don't get tired of it because one of my patients I worked with years ago was a retired colonel from the Marine Corps. Now, I married a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. This guy was a retired colonel in the Marine Corps. And he comes in and he sits down and he's very stoic throughout the whole assessment, although he's got some personality and some dry humor every now and again. And we started talking about his wife was there, thank goodness, to kind of lead me into some conversation. And she said, he gets really breathless bathing. So we went over some of these things. And I said, and then when you get out of the shower, you can put on a terry cloth robe. He goes, do I look like a man who wears terry cloth robes? And I was like, well, what kind of man is that, But I'm sure if he had seen this Superman terry cloth robe, he would have been all about it. Maybe he was picturing the fuzzy white ones or the fuzzy pink ones or the fuzzy blue ones, but this one would have been right up his alley. And so the thing about terry cloth robes that I learned this lesson when I was pregnant is that you wrap up in those suckers and you sit down and you let the robe do the work when it comes to drying you off. It's none of this, even after you're breathless from bathing, it does the work for you. You can also use a large bath towel, and that's okay too. I like the terry cloth robes, and the men are shaking their heads like, yeah, she does. That's good. But large bath sheets are fine too. But I do love a terry cloth robe. I get new ones every time they wear out. I use it every day. The second tip, and this is the last tip for bathing, is take your time. Make sure when you've got to go somewhere and if you need to get a shower or bath in, that you just take your time. Maybe you don't set a glass of wine up it. But if you want to, that's fine. No judgment here. And you want to just bathe and relax, that's fine too, or just take your time. My husband looked at these slides, he was like, really? And I was like, well, it just looked relaxing to me. I don't know. After a full day of work and 3 kids, that wine glass, a good book, looked really good, and bubbles. It looked really good to me. So yes, just take your time bathing, because rushing around is not going to do you any favors. It will make you more breathless. You won't be able to focus on your breathing. It will definitely cause more breathlessness to rush through it. So give yourself plenty of time. When I have to be at work at 9, and yeah, I've got an hour commute. I live up in Montpelier. I still get up at 5:30 because I want to have my time before the kids start rushing in to ask me for things. So I take my time getting ready. I have my cup of coffee. I take my shower slowly. I'm a girl that has never liked to rush, ever. In fact, today I got here probably 30 minutes in advance, but I didn't rush over here. And it just something for my psyche. If I'm in a rush, I'm in a bad mood. And subsequently, that's some tips to give your family as well, is rushing you will not help them at all. Because it messes with your positive attitude, it worsens your shortness of breath. Rushing you is never something to do. So family members